Hi, we're here for the Daily Forex Report for June 10th. We are looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair first. This pair moved, had a pretty decent range to the downside, didn't quite break the previous two sessions low and before pulling back, closed higher. Overall, this pair is moving sideways with the bias to the sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 91.75 and hit resistance there, and move down to 90.75 and hit support at that level. Now looking at the Euro USD pair, this particular pair closed much higher. We do have a pretty strong trend line being developed right here on our lows, so definitely keep an eye on this next session. We are, however, looking for this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias to the sideways currently. Look for it to potentially go as high as 122.03, possibly as low as 118.64. Look for some resistance around 121.50 and look for some support around 1,2000. Now the pound US dollar pair moved higher today, had a very large range, moved to the upside, basically moved right up to previous resistance. So look for a potential breakout to the upside from there. We are looking for this pair overall, though, to continue moving sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 147.91, possibly as low as 144.02. Look for some resistance around 147.50, and look for some support around 146.80. Now, looking at the US Swiss, this particular pair closed lower during today's session. Did break previous session's low, but pull back to close higher. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 115.71, possibly as low as 113.47. Look for some resistance around 11500, and look for some support around 113.95. Now, as far as news announcements go, we do have the advanced retail sales for tomorrow being released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time for the US dollar. Consensus on that is that it has dropped from 0.4% to 0.2%, which could be negative news for the US dollar. As far as what I'm looking at during this next session, if you want to go ahead and trade this potential news announcement, if you like to trade, one way of doing it is to wait until the news announcement is going to be released, which in this case, if we use the previous sessions as an example, you take this would be the hour that it's released right here. So you take the high of the session so far and the low of the session so far, and then look for a potential breakout. Look to grab about 30 pips. I wouldn't risk more than 30 pips either. So 30 pip stop loss, 30 pip take profit. If you want to, you can hold on to it. Once you hit your 30 pip take profit, go to break even, and then see if it'll run. In this particular example, you would have been stopped back out. But nonetheless, this is one way to do it. You do want to make sure that your broker will do a trade within news. Some of them won't fill you at good prices, so you definitely need to check with your broker ahead of time. So this is just one way to do it. Another way to do it would be to look for previous. What I mean by previous, you can go on the higher time frame, say the 4-hour, pick out some previous support and resistance areas, and go ahead and mark those on a chart. It's obvious to see that we had some support here, so you go ahead and put that there. We also had some previous resistance right around this area, and we also, you just go through basically and tag some of the areas of previous resistance and previous support and look for a break of those, whichever direction the current market is. So currently the market's here, so to the upside we look for a breakout here, potentially going to this mark, to the downside breaking out here, and potentially going down to the 119.06 mark. So this is another way to trade the news announcements. And the advanced retail sales is one of the higher affecting, or the better market movers that we have. It's probably third in the list, so definitely keep an eye on that. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.